to be talking about the NBA, what's going on, and what it could look like when it returns. So, the NBA target date for return is July 31st, Tanner. And yeah, I don't see a reason why it won't at least be close to that. Um, but there are some things that they're talking about doing. So, the proposed format that is going to be voted by the NBA governing board on this coming Thursday will be playing every game in Orlando, Florida, as well as 20 to 22 teams joining in. So how that works is um, if they do 22 teams, which means every team that is within 6 games of making the playoffs or 5 games of making the playoffs, will have some. They'll play some regular season format and then play a tournament for the last teams at the bottom as a play-in to get into the playoffs. And then if they do a 20-team league, they'll do a World Cup style format with group play, and then um, obviously a tournament after that. So each team will play each other like twice, like the FIFA World Cup, and then they'll do a bracket tournament after the top 2 teams from um, group. Each group makes a tournament.
And Zach, as we kind of look at this, first off, going with the play games in Orlando, I think that's the right move. Put all the teams in one location. They've got the space for that, and it's going to keep them in the best possible and safest way to play games while not having to do too much traveling with everything that's going on. So that's the right move. And that was pretty decided as they were going through trying to figure out a way to get the season back pretty early on, but this definitely has been confirmed. And then I really like this. I would love the decision for that kind of FIFA style. And I think part of the reason is it gives teams a chance to get back to game speed. As a former basketball player, when it comes to practices and going against, other players, it's a completely different feeling once you get that game speed. And I would be completely shocked to find out how teams would play if they went straight into the playoffs and like, all right, by the way, here you go. Your run for a championship starts now, which I guess could be interesting to see where everyone would be at. And like, if those players who have stayed in shape and worked out, gotten in the gym, those players who have been kind of laxing a little bit and throughout this whole COVID-19 pandemic. But I really like the FIFA style. I think that would just bring a lot more entertainment. And more importantly, it also bring, I think, a lot more games to the fans. But most importantly for the players, get a chance to get that competition speed again and an idea for other teams that you would play against. So I really like that style. And I think that would draw in a lot of fans.
So I agree with you. The 20-team format I think is better. NBA players said no matter what, they don't want to go straight into the playoffs. So I don't think that will happen. I would say I'm 99% sure that will happen. They'll do some sort of um, gameplay before they get into the postseason tournament bracket. So I think the 20-team World Cup format is more interesting. So here's the difference. So the 22. So to lay it out, um, if they did 20 teams, the teams that aren't technically in the playoffs are the Washington Wizards, Sacramento Kings, Portland Trailblazers, San Antonio Spurs. Um, there's I named 4. There's 2 more that I can't think of off the top of my head at the moment. But and then if they did the 20 format, they would lose the Wizards and the Suns. So it'd be two team difference, obviously. And I don't think the Wizards and the Suns really are vying for a chance to win a championship based off of their current rosters. So I think the 20-team format is better. Also, I think it's a more interesting format um, because you never know what could happen. I mean, you could get a team gets on fire for a couple of games, and then a team that in the normal style would make the playoffs doesn't make the playoffs, doesn't get out of group stage. So it's really interesting, and I think the 20-team format is the way to go.